Okay. I'm
It's free, right? I get the cups. I'll pour it out. Listen, I'm giving out free knowledge. First, giving out free chlamydia, so everybody can get it.
That was the wrong, the wrong one.
Shit, bro.
And wait, it is live, bro.
Oh, so they told me it's the influencia panel.
It's live on, what is it live on YouTube? On Facebook?
It's on YouTube now? Oh, this is live right now?
Live on,
No shit.
Nah, they're not good.
Well, you can follow me at Willis the Barber. I will no longer be here. I gotta go.
No, you can't leave now, bro.
Oh,
We're starting into this, bro.
who else we missing?
We got Chris Box.
Basio. Come on down.
All the way
from on the corner.
around the corner for the first
Ladies and gentlemen, come on down. Take a seat.
Take a seat.
Take a seat, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Make some noise. All the way down from Connecticut. His hair is split in two pieces. His pants is split into two pieces. His underwear is split from brown to yellow. It's Bird Idea. Make some noise. Hey. Wow. There we go. Look. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more chairs. Let's fucking sit down, puto. I don't know why you're sitting back there. Just get a seat. Give me some noise. We're gonna put you to get crazy in here. I'm gonna throw some money at the crowd.
Yes.
Where's my quarters at? Anybody got change?
Who's got the change?
I'm giving away a free Blistex to the next person that sits down.
Next.
It's half used though.
That's all right. We got all the sound effects ready. We're gonna put you in the hot seat. We got tripods.
You over there, and you over there, and you over there. You with the camel toe all the way down by illusion.
Damn, you can see it from here.
The moose knuckle over there at Shed 45.
The moose knuckle.
You with the 3 nipples by Booksy. Come on down.
Oh man.
If you're at the bar, ask for Willis the Barber discount code. Willis the Barber discount code.
Yes.
Ask him. I'm dead serious. Yo, discounts. Hey.
Discounts at the bar.
Oh, if you work at Blurry Fades, you have to sit. You have to sit.
You do have to sit.
You have to sit.
100%. You gotta grab a seat.
There we go. Sit.
We're
There we
giving
go.
a lot of free nothings today.
Okay, yo, T-Pain. Where's T-Pain going? You gotta get in the seat. T-Pain, where you going? T-Pain. I love the barber. He never think of me. Oh, Little Pump, you better come down, Little Pump. Little Pump, come on down. Let's go. Who else we got back there? We're gonna start in 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Okay, I'm not. No, people have Mark, take a seat.
Mark, take a seat.
Mark,
bro.
take a seat.
We're here, bro.
Mark, we're here for you.
We're live.
I flew all the way from New York and you flew me economy, not even first class.
I didn't even have luggage with my shit. I had it.
Mark,
luggage included?
What? You put me on Spirit.
Oh, shit.
Spirit Airlines.
Spirit, bro.
First off, he said he paid for my seat. It was a standing seat. I was holding on like this. She was like, would you like a seatbelt? I said, for what? Where?
Where are you going to put the seatbelt at? Yeah, that's
Where?
true. That is true.
Mark needs to thank me because...
Ready? All right, cut to the other one.
A Romeo Santos concert, member. You're welcome.
Yeah, so we're gonna.
He was not J Balvin, not nowhere near. He looked like Ryan Seacrest, the Spanish version. This is what I do in my barbershop all day.
All day, right?
If you guys can't take this, please sit though.
Please take a seat, guys.
I'm gonna put it down.
We can only start when all the seats are filled.
We can only start. Hey,
that's what
why are you standing? Just come on down. Take a seat.
Take a seat.
There we go. There we go.
After you get your drink,
if these seats are filled, I'm buying everybody a drink from the faucet in the back. There's a water back there. I'll buy the cups, and I got you guys.
You have enough cups, yeah?
Oh, I have one cup. We're gonna act like this is church. Act like you've never been to a Catholic church and they just wipe the brim. I don't have a napkin. I'm using my T-shirt. But I got you guys. I promise.
We have a guest in the building. We have Corey.
Corey Sturkey.
All the way. Where's he from? How far is he
He's
from?
literally from down the block, and with his long legs, all he took was one step, and he got here. It's crazy. It took me a while to get from the hotel. It took me a half an hour to walk over here.
Little legs.
Yeah,
I
little
can
legs.
relate. I can
Little
relate.
legs.
I can relate.
Here we go. All right, we're almost there. We still
We're
have like
almost there.
eight chairs still need to be
1,
filled.
2, 3, 4,
Yes,
5,
you right there. You in the blue. You in the black.
Grab your seat.
Come on
today.
down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, you back there, walking straight. Come make a right and take a seat. Yes, you. Yes, you. Come on
here.
down.
Hey, come back over
Here
there.
we go.
Grab your seat today.
And definitely tell you to listen to reggaeton. Play some reggaeton right
Play
now.
some reggaeton. Give me a good one. Let's see.
Oh, look, this motherfucker took a break. He took a break. He took a break.
Oh, bro.
He went to 7-Eleven and got a supersized Slurpee. Yo, Mark, dock his pay. Emily, where you going? Take a seat. You need to learn this. You need to learn. Come on down.
Come to. Oh, we got.
All the way
all
from
the way from
Winnipeg, Canada.
Canada is.
Rufio. Rufio.
He's showing a
I
little bit
loved
of
you in
chest.
Peter Pan. I swear to God.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come here, please.
Take the stairs. In America, we take stairs. Right there. There you go.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Scott Ramos. Yo, what are you drinking?
Rockstar. Scott Ramos. All of
Scott,
you guys
for
don't know
some of
who
your
you-
followers, we need 2, 4, 6 more chairs to be filled.
6 more chairs to be filled, guys.
Seven, 2.
Seven.
Six.
Maybe
Take a
7.
seat. Don't record us sitting down. We need this whole thing filled. We have to fill this up. We
Oh,
have
he's
to
leaving.
fill this up. We
He's
have
leaving.
to.
He's
Yo,
getting content and leaving.
come on
bro.
down. Right there. Here. You in the white and the black. You with the nose. Come back here. Yeah, you with the glasses. Come on down. You in the
come
back
down,
with the
come
one
down.
leg. Eileen, I see you, Eileen. Come
Hey,
down.
He's skateboarding.
You
all
on the
to us.
skateboard. Come
Hey,
on down.
Come
Here we
on
go.
down right here. No.
No.
Over here. Take a left.
Security. He's rollerblading, skating. Can't do that.
How many chairs left?
We got 6, 5.
5. 5 chairs left.
We got 5 chairs. Oh, here we go.
Oh, yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
We need 4
more chairs.
You. Where you going?
Oh.
You can't do that. You can't rebuttal on this shit. Wow. That's a broken heart. I don't want that
That
shit.
is a broken heart, but we got.
Here we go.
We did it.
No, we still got 4 seats left.
All right, we only got 4 seats left.
What's that famous soccer player with the crazy hair? He's coming in right now to your right. From Colombia.
Alex, what's his name?
I don't know. I'm Puerto Rican. I don't even know about soccer.
I'm Dominican.
No, you're not.
Oh, yeah. What am I?
You're an Come on down. Take a seat. There we go. Come on down.
No, you can't
You're
leave
the
yet,
next.
bro.
No, don't stand. It's not gonna look good for us. I have to do like an Instagram post.
You want to give... let these people know who you are, where you're from, and...
My name is
How
Jeff,
long
and
you
I
been
came
cutting
all
hair?
the way from Canada.
My name is Scott Ramos. Hello, everyone. We need some energy. Clap it up for yourselves one time for being
Make
here.
some noise.
Proud of yourselves. We are in the greatest industry in the world.
Come on down. Come on
Yeah.
down. You're the next contestant. The Price is Right. Please. We only have 4 seats left, and I'm gonna buy everybody a drink.
I like that.
I swear to God, I'm not.
Again, my name is Scott on
Take
Instagram.
a seat. Take a seat.
Th-
Just fill it in. All we
my
need is
God.
for some Instagram pictures, and y'all can go. You know what I'm saying? It's all up front.
Oh,
Appreciate it. It's all up front. I'm trying to get paid
All
next
right,
year.
Willis, stop talking.
For why?
Stop talking. It's my turn.
Oh shit.
It's my turn. I love you.
Are you gonna sing though?
I'm about to go judge real quick, but you guys are watching some incredible gentlemen. You guys are going to learn a lot. Bird, it's all you. I love you guys. Peace.
Oh, give it up.
Give it up for Scott Ramos.
Give it up, hands.
He just tore his
when I
ACL
say-
walking.
When we say give it up, that means a round of applause, guys. All right, ready? Round of applause.
He's so serious. So serious.
Yeah.
I'm constipated from yesterday.
There's only 2 seats left. We sold it to everybody else for $75. You guys can sit for free if you want. All right? Right or no?
Yeah, let's start it up.
You want to start it off? Yeah. All right. Do we have everyone here? I feel like someone's missing.
Everybody's here. Fashion guy. Who? Fashion guy. No, fuck. Come on, let's start shit. Start it. Here's what come before.
All right, guys. We just had a little bit of fun there. Thank you guys for sitting down. We had to get the people here, you know? We had to get the people here somehow, you know? So, if you guys don't know any of the guys that are up here, all of these guys are a big influence in our industry. Today, the purpose of this is for you guys to be able to communicate with them, ask them any questions. These guys are pioneers and entrepreneurs in our industry, and it's honestly a pleasure and an honor, and I'm super grateful to be the host. My name is Bird Mena,
Barbers.
founder of Sharp Fade. I just flew in all the way from Los Angeles, California, and today we're going to be speaking with some of the influencers. So if I can get the mic all the way down to Chris Bosio so he can introduce himself, please.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? I am Chris Bosio. I have a YouTube channel. I started a company named Tune 45 along with some of my brothers. What else? I'm an educator. I like to think. Travel a lot, educating, teaching people, whether it's cutting hair or business or growing their own brands. One thing I feel like we've grown Tune 45 with is by giving first. We try to be transparent. I've vlogged the whole journey when we started from a shave gel in my kitchen to where it is today. And I'm just excited to be here and, give a little bit. So thank you, guys.
My name is Jeff. What's up, everybody? I'm Willis the Barber, owner of Well Connected in New York City. Happy to be here. What did you say?
I was just talking.
Same thing. One thing. Yeah.
I also have barbershops just like Willis.
Barbershop. Pretty funny. And you don't think I'm funny? Wow. Well, bitch, I'm out.
Oh, no.
Marv, he's upstate, right? That doesn't count. Nah, nigga, he's in Canada. He's in Canada. It's not part of New York. That's like saying Staten Island's part of like New York City. He's in upstate. He has trees by his house. I have projects.
There's definitely a tree right outside your house. There's definitely a tree right outside your crib.
It's not a nice tree.
It's not like a nice tree.
You got branches?
Dogs piss and shit all over it, so it's not a nice tree.
This nigga got trees, bro. Bones the goat. Corey, I'm from Palm Beach. My shop's literally like 15 minutes from here. Barber, I guess educator, and above all, father. I think that's my most thing I'm more proud of is me being a father. I don't really give a fuck about like the whole barber and stuff like that. I do it for my kid. I do it for my family.
Give it up. Round of applause, guys. We'll practice the round of applauses. Yes, there we go. That means everyone, even if you have a drink, just clap it. There you go.
Willis got a kid too.
Willis got a kid.
Basio got some kids.
Basio, you have a kid too? They all have fathers too, all of them.
I got two beautiful children myself. But
Alright.
Drew the Barber, Tampa, Florida, lead educator for JRL, here today representing Booksy, proud to be here to this event. It's amazing to see how much this has grown. So I'm proud of Mark. Big ups, Mark the Barber.
Yes, sir. Clap it up again one more time. Yeah. Clap it up. There we go. Everybody's getting jealous back there that they don't have a seat. It's all right.
Packed house.
All right, and now we're on the last influencer in the table.
We saved a handsome one for last, huh?
Yes.
We finally got the mic away from Willis.
Most recognized.
Yeah, we out here. Upstate, 518.
You can smell his breath on that mic, right?
Yeah, it does. It's got a little zing to it. I go by it's Marvy Marv. I've been called worse. Annoying.
Most known for what?
Yelling at people in my car.
Saying
Barbers! And I'm just happy to be here, man. It's about 31 degrees where I'm from in upstate New York.
Upstate New York.
And
near Canada.
I'm happy to share the stage with these guys, and feel free to ask whatever you want to ask. We're all transparent. We're all going to give you the truth. We're all going to be honest. And let's make this fun.
Awesome. Be careful. There's oh no, that's Jay Majors. A wild Jay Majors coming up to is he coming up here? Oh, that's Chris Basio's assistant. Oh, okay. Give it up for Jay Majors, owner of the CT Barber Expo, is in the building today. Is this sponsored by Bang? Bro? Bro. Oh, man. All right. You caught that? All right, well, let's start. I have a few questions, but I want you guys all to write at least one question out on your phones. Everybody got a phone here? Who got a phone? Raise your hand if you got a phone. All right. It's charging. You got one? All right, just at least in your notes or anywhere you want to write it, write one question that you would like, or if you have more, then that's fine, that you would like to ask any of the influencers while they're here. You know, these guys are traveling around the world, educating, growing a brand, running a business at home, being fathers. Some of them are good fathers, some of them are not, but that's none of my business anyways. All right, so I have a few questions that I wrote out, and I want to begin with Chris Bazio. So my question to you is, let's pass down the mic. Make sure it skips Willis completely. All right, my question to Chris Bazio. I kind of want to start off with something, you know, normal. Where do you see the industry going in the next 5 years?
Where do I see the industry going?
The barber industry.
Like as far as like popularity or like?
Just everything in general, like starting from shows to education to trends to Instagram to everything, social media, all around the whole industry as a whole.
As a whole, I think a lot of the trends and like the fads and stuff, I feel like it's all gonna get stagnant, and people are going to start demanding more real value, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of wondering. Like when I was a student barber, I didn't know what these shows were about. You know, I look up to a lot of people on social media and stuff, and I didn't know the things that the industry had to offer. I feel like it's going to be a lot more transparent. People are going to see a lot of opportunity and innovation in products. I just feel like everything is going to grow in general as far as that. Yeah. I
can totally agree with you. Does anyone here have a question for Chris Bazio while he has the mic? Anyone else? I have another question for you if you don't mind.
Sure.
So, like you know, we all travel around the world, and this topic is brought up a lot. I know that you spoke about it on a live stream, and it was something very controversial. What do you feel about barbers that cut hair without a license? So like in other countries, there is no licensing, and in United States, there is licensing.
You trying to get me on another one of those live stream rants? Is that what you're trying to get?
I'm just trying to see, because maybe some of them missed it. Some of them missed it, you know?
For me, look.
You want another mic?
For me,
Can we get another mic in here? Hey, papi, ¿qué lo que? Can we get another mic? You have another mic? All right. Go ahead, you can start.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me, and this is controversial to a lot of people, but I haven't had a conversation with anyone who could change my mind. In my belief, I think you should follow the law. I think you should get your license because that is the law. But I don't think we need one, in my opinion. And for a lot of reasons, it would take me a while to answer.
Can you give us like 2 reasons, maybe?
Yeah, I mean,
the only reason I brought it up is because maybe not everyone here got to see that live stream, and I thought it was something.
I think as soon as I say there shouldn't be a license, people automatically assume there shouldn't be regulation. That's not what I'm saying. I think we should protect the people, protect the public, but you don't need 2 years or a year and a half to learn how to clean your clippers.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I've traveled the world. I've been to Russia, China, the UK, all over the world.
Yeah.
South America. I could tell you that it is still safe. The education is amazing. You go to Russia, bro, you go to some of these schools, it is top notch. It's better than any schools you can in this country. And so I've opened my eyes to it, and I've learned that, look, I used to run a restaurant. You think the regulations wasn't there? My chefs didn't need a license, right? I go to a tattoo artist. It's still regulated, but they don't go to school for 1,200 hours to learn how to be cleanly. And you think that barber's more dangerous than that? So in my opinion, yeah, I'm good without it. I'm not afraid of a license. I'm not afraid of the competition that would come in. I worked really hard to be where I'm at today, to build the business that I am today. And honestly, if there's more people coming into our industry cutting hair, that just makes me that much more of importance. So yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Thank you so much.
Can I add to that, or you want to add to that?
I mean, I feel like the barber license is bullshit.
Barber license is bullshit.
That's how I feel.
Barber license is bullshit. So
let's keep it real, bro.
But I want to hear why. Can we get a few reasons why you think?
Because niggas don't learn. You don't learn how to cut hair. I mean, there was one exception. Like, it's crazy because my barber instructor's right there. That's my barber instructor from my school.
Give him a round of applause. He taught Bones the Goats barber instructor.
What I will say is, even Hardy, he know where I stand. I feel like it's bullshit, personally. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see the point of it. I didn't learn how to cut hair at school. Ever. I got lucky because my barber instructor actually knew how to explain something to me, like say it to me, because I'm a visual learner. Some people learn differently. I'm a visual learner. I have to be hands-on. I have to see it get done. You can't talk to me and tell me like, we're in at this area, at that time. I don't, and then it's like, I feel like it's the government trying to get bread. They see the money, they can't really get, they're never going to get the full amount of money from a barber, because barbers, for the most part, everybody, it's almost impossible to claim all your bread. They don't really know exactly how much they get. So it's like, all right, bet, cool. We're going to tax them or make them go to school. And let's be real, 9 times out of 10, the barber instructors that are at barber schools are the worst barber at their shop. So they go work at a barber school because they know that can guarantee $15 an hour. They're the barber that's always in the back. They're in the back of the barber shop. Nobody goes and feel like, all right, look, I'm gonna go to school. And in the state of Florida, you even have to have an educator's license. You just have to have your license, and it will get hired as a barber instructor immediately. And you can graduate from barber school and then be a barber instructor 3 weeks later at that same school. Schools are not putting out good quality students. They just, all right, I know the history of it. I know how to clean my stuff. Like, it's like Obama said. It's like you gotta retrain them all over. You're like, yo, bro, this is how you cut it. This is how things work. It's the law. I say get it and have a piece of mind, because I know without a license for 7 years. And I literally seen the inspector once. Like, you know, by the grace of God, I never got caught up or jammed up in it. But it was like, you know, I never saw the point. I have a barber license, not because it's like, I'm a barber, I need to get a license. No, I got a barber license, so when that nigga walk in with that pen and pad, I'm straight. That's it. I didn't go to school because I wanted to learn. I went to school so they leave me alone when they came to the barbershop.
Does anybody agree with that? Anybody agree with that? Yes. All right. Does anyone have any questions? You have a question? All right. Let me get his question in, and then we'll go on to Marvin.
How you guys doing? I appreciate what you guys are doing here today. I'm an ex-trained guy. I come from being an electrician. So I was in the union, and what I had wasn't necessarily a license, because we don't have to have a license today either. But it was more of on-the-job training, apprenticeship. So do you think that would be the advantage?
That's how, because I know in Philly, you can go and get, you can do apprenticeship in Philly. You can pay a barber like 30, I think they charge like $3,500, and you shadow them for like 5 months, and they write down your hours. I feel like that's how it should be done. You got to be in the shop, you got to be hands-on, you got to know how the environment is in a barber shop. Because cutting hair at a barber school and then cutting hair in the shop, completely different. You're not sweating when you're at school. When you get to a barbershop, you're sweating. It's a different type of environment, different type of mentality you got to have while you're in the shop compared to learning at school.
Yeah, I feel the same way about that, like 100%. I didn't learn much in my school. Actually, my school got shut down right after I graduated.
But you still can't cut hair.
I still can't cut hair. I got a barber's license and a cosmetology one, and I can't cut. Nah, I could cut. I could cut. But, yeah, 100%. I didn't learn nothing until I got to the barbershop, you know, and messing up heads for so long. Exactly. And we still mess up heads here and there.
But the thing is,
what's your input on this?
It keeps these shitty schools open. Like, they wouldn't stay open if we didn't have to go to them. Like, the same thing would happen to me. My school shut down a year after I graduated, and I had people trying to teach me how to run a barbershop that never owned a barbershop. I had teachers in there passing out and nodding off because they had, you know, issues going on, but, you know, I didn't have, like, quality teachers. I wasn't learning nothing. And that school wouldn't have stayed open if we didn't have to go to it. There's other schools that aren't too far away from where I'm at now that wouldn't stay open if we didn't have to go to it. So I think if we remove the license, it's like me and Basio discussed on the live, I think it would just level up the education, because now you're going to have to be good. Like, if you didn't have to have a license, your school has to be good. You can still have a school or a certification like he was discussing, but it has to be good. Because if it's not good, people are not going to go because they don't have to. So I think it will just make it better, and you'll be able to have the Basios, the Willises, the Bones, the Drews, the Marvs educating at these places, as opposed to, you know, Joe Ryan that didn't make it in the shop, you know, couldn't build a clientele, so now he has to go work for $15 an hour. So I just don't see the point either.
Let's keep it real. Like, how many of y'all actually feel like you got your money's worth at barber school? Keep it real. Who feel like they got their money's worth at a barber school?
I don't think anyone.
I got my apprentice license in New York, just going to school just to open up the shop, and I paid $3,000, and I went 5 days, and I cut one person each day, and all I had to do was just go for to pass the test. That's all I needed to learn, because I already know how to cut hair. I was cutting hair for 5 years already. So I went to the school for those hours, and came back, and then I took my master's. It was 1, 2, 3. So I think guys should learn in the shop before and not going to a school. Schools can't teach you so much. They can only teach you how to pass the test. They can't teach you when it comes to cutting somebody with an afro, give a skin fade, a tape up, even how to even hold a razor. Come on. It's just it's a money machine that the fucking government keeps taking from everybody.
Does anyone else have any questions here? One question, yes.
Not so much a question. I work for Palm Beach County. I have 84 communities throughout Palm Beach County, going from Jupiter to Boca, and I go out to the Glades. We have an event once a year called the Palm Beach County Back to School Bash. One of the locations is going to be right here at the Convention Center. So what I'm looking for, all of the communities that I serve are communities in need. So these are parents who can't afford to pay for a haircut or who don't have health insurance to be able to get physicals or eye exams for their kids. So we do all of that in 5 locations throughout Palm Beach County. So what I'm here is to find out, and I understand you're here in West Palm Beach.
I'm in Boynton.
You're in Boca?
Boynton.
Boynton, okay. So I'm here to partner with with barbers that would want to come to our event August the 1st. Okay. I'll leave you my card, and as well as associate, because we need probably at least 20 or 30 barbers just here. Okay. And then we're in Delray Beach, we're in Jupiter, and like I said, we're out in the Glades. So I'd love to find out how we can partner, because these are kids who, in order for them to go to school on their first day of school, they have to be in the mindset to be like everybody else. In fact, their kids are missing the first day of school because they don't have the backpacks or they don't have the haircut. So I'd love for you to, talk to me about that opportunity.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, guys. So I have a few other questions that I have written down on my phone. If any of you have any questions for any of the influencers that are up here, barbers, entrepreneurs, please raise your hand and I'll go up to you.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Carlos. I'm the founder of Clipper. I just wanted to see what you guys look for when you guys are downloading or using different barber apps.
What do you guys look for when you're downloading or using barber apps? He's the founder of Clipper. So, okay. So what do you look for when? What do you look for when you use barber apps? Like Booksy,
or like
Squad,
online booking apps?
Like an online booking app.
Consistency.
Okay.
Consistency. They have to be, and a 24-hour, customer service. Because not only does a barber get caught up, but sometimes the apps do. So you gotta have an app that actually has a customer service that's 24 hours. They can actually answer you at all times. That's what I look for.
Do you guys all use different? You guys all use different ones, yeah? You have your own, or?
Yeah, I have my own app. We had our own app as far as booking in 2012. It was, from my knowledge, it was the first one on the Apple App Store. For me, we have 7 barbershops. I want to own and brand my own shops. I want to own the app. I want to brand my own thing. I want people to download my app and have access to my barbers. So as long as I own that information, I have the CSV files, all that stuff, and you're going to empower my brand, I'm into that.
Do you guys use booking apps? Who uses a booking app? You all cut hair? Everybody's a barber? Use a booking app. All right, I don't know. There's a bunch of them to choose from, and they have the pros or cons. Do your research into which one you might want to try, but use one. Because I tell you what, I don't know how busy you guys are, but as you get busier and that phone starts picking up, you're in the shop from 7 to 8, nonstop, and then you get off, and then you go home. You're supposed to spend time with your wife or spend time with your husband or your kids, and then you got 37 text messages to respond to and 10 different phone calls to call people back to try to figure out a time. Yo, Brian, yo, what's up? Can you get me in today? Tomorrow, what time can you come in? Well, what time works for you? You tell me. Early? You want to do 10 a.m.? Nah, 10 a.m. don't work. Can you do 1? I can do 12:30. I can't do that. You can eliminate all that nonsense by having a booking app, because then, especially like I said, if it's 24/7, then they can book with you at 3 a.m. when they're drunk at the club and they just know they need to get a haircut tomorrow. Or if they're just home and you're chilling with your kids and chilling with your wife, your husband, you don't got to worry about all that. So if you don't use a booking app, I don't care which one you use, I suggest using one to free up your time, because the busier you get, you'll see. You'll find yourself hooked to your phone and just out of the world, and you'll just business 24/7, and it become overwhelming. You start getting depressed. You start feeling carrying a burden with you. You don't want to do that. So use a booking app if you don't use one.
Also, I think the biggest misconception is that you don't want to lose that personal relationship with your customers. But honestly, these days, people do not want to be calling you and waiting for you to respond. Use the booking app. The booking app is highly beneficial to you, and you're often going to see that if you start using the booking app, you're going to get busy, because people are actually looking on these apps for barbers in your area. So use, like he said, what Marv said is use any booking app. I use Booksy. Love how fluent it is. Very, very reliable customer service around the clock. But use the booking app. You're going to see that you get busier.
100%. For me, when I was cutting hair, I did use a booking app as well, and it helped me raise my prices, manage my time. I was already started to travel a lot, so I was able to travel, get everybody to come into the chair before I traveled or when I came back, so I was always booked. So I highly recommend a booking app all the time. Now, guys, how many of you here have a barbershop? How many of you guys here own a barbershop? Raise your hand. How many want to own a barbershop? Want to own a barbershop? Yeah, want to own a barbershop. So for me, I also want to own a barbershop. I was cutting for 9 years, and then for the past 4 years, I've been traveling around the world. But a big goal of mine is to own a barbershop. And luckily for us, we have all of these entrepreneurs that can give us some advice on how to run a barbershop, what are the pros and the cons of certain things. So one of my question is to all of you. You guys all own a barbershop, yeah? All of you, yeah? So for someone that is starting and wants to open up a barbershop, what are the first things that you would give as an advice? If it comes down to like hiring or how to hire the right person, because I know that's tough with different personalities, or what do you think you could give as an advice for someone like me and someone like the guys that are here?
My number one rule is you're gonna open up a barbershop, you better be able to pay the rent for the shop by yourself. Because all your barbers can leave you all at once, and who's going to pay for that? Don't depend on nobody else. Make sure you can afford that location with no help. Because at the end of the day, if you're sitting there depending on 5 barbers and it's yourself, and all 5 of those barbers quit, who's going to hold up the end of the stick? It all depends on you. So you might as well be able to pay that rent by yourself.
I would say be very, 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 very cautious and careful before you enter a partnership, because that's what most barbers do in my experience when they want to open a shop. They'll be in a shop with their boy, and they'll both be busy and think, why are we paying this shop owner all of this booth rent, all of this commission, when we could just do this on our own? And they enter a partnership not really knowing each other like that, or not really knowing what it entails, and not understanding the potential disaster that can come from a partnership. Like, a partnership is a lot, and honestly, I would advise not even entering one. But if you are going to enter one, be very cautious. Make sure you really know that person, and make sure your visions are as aligned as possible. Because what happens is you enter the partnership, you both start at 100%, you're going in, then one starts slacking off, one gets a girlfriend, or one gets to start seeing some new dude, or one just starts going through some shit in their life and they start slacking off, and you find yourself doing all the work, but yet they're still getting half of the profits. And it's just a whole bunch of stuff comes in. You want it blue, they want it red. It's just a whole lot of back and forth and compromise, which ultimately, in my experience of doing this and traveling and having conversations, could be a very bad road if you enter a partnership strictly just to make sure you're splitting the bills with somebody and opening it up with somebody that you know. So I think that's the biggest thing for me to you guys if you want to open your own shop, is just really stop and think before you enter a partnership, And if you just take Willis's advice and you can do it all on your own before you open the shop, you don't have to worry about it. So I think that's the thing I wanted to add.
I think the most important thing for me when opening the shop was making sure I was at a point in my life where I had something to offer the people that work for me. So it was very important for me to make sure that my barbers are getting continuous education. So, you know, a lot of people want to rush to open up a shop, but they really don't know what all that entails. Being a shop owner is not as glamorous as it looks. It's a lot of work around the clock, and being able to sacrifice yourself, a lot of yourself for your team.
I think for me, when it came to me owning my shop, it was I feel like I got to that level. The advice that I would give is make sure you're at the level to where you feel like you're reaching your cap at the space that you're at. Like the shop that I was working at, there wasn't anything or anybody here that really challenged me for me to grow that much more. So I knew the next step would be leadership. As far as like everybody kind of gave some like advice with me when it comes to hiring people, the biggest thing I do is I wanted to create a family vibe. Like I want to go to work and I want to be around my boys. I don't hire people because of how good they cut hair, because I can teach anybody how to cut hair. That's what we all get paid to do. We're educators. We get paid to teach people how to cut hair. But I can't teach you how not to be a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't teach you how not to have good customer service, be a personable type of person, just be a good individual. I can deal with somebody cutting hair horribly because I can teach them. I know what the problem is, but I can't teach you how to be a good human being. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was my biggest thing, is like establishing a good core of good people. The good haircuts are going to come because the environment is going to produce it, because we all build off each other because we're like a family.
Now, was it very difficult, like, to find barbers that were licensed?
It wasn't hard at all for me, because I had built my brand to the point where when I put up that I was opening up a shop, before my floors were even laid down in my shop, before anything was painted, I had barbers waiting to come work for me. So it was a blessing, because I was able to sit there and like, all right, he'll fit, he won't fit. You know what I'm saying? I was able to sit and pick that. I didn't have that pressure of like, damn, I got to get these barbers in here. I got to fill these chairs. Because like what Willis said, I made sure my rent was, all right, I can make all my rent in a week at my shop. So everything else is just extra. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to be patient and make sure I put the right people, because what a lot of dudes don't understand, they'll hire somebody just to fill a seat, but that person could end up being a cancer for the barbershop and kill the whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Hire people based off their character, not how good they cut hair.
100%. Chris Bazio?
For me, it's don't get into a barbershop unless you're not going to serve there, because that barbershop is a platform for barbers. They treat it like it's theirs. They treat it like it's their op. We might have a booth in.
And we think we all have to own barbershops one day, and it's not for every shine. Like it's like that shit is stressful.
It's a drop for all of you. Now, did you open up your shops where you were already cutting, or were they open somewhere far? So like let's say someone like me, if there is anyone, open up a barbershop completely far away from where their clientele is at.
It wouldn't make any sense.
No, right?
It wouldn't make any sense.
It would be like a crazy.
If you're opening up a second location, I can suggest that, but not for your first location, not at all.
What's the sense in that? For what? That's like planting a seed somewhere, letting it harvest and leaving it.
Yeah.
You establish yourself in that community. Because me, my shop is about 10, 15 minutes from my last location. And a lot of my clientele is based in Boynton. That's where I'm at right now. So I purposed my shop to Boynton because my clientele was already in that area. So I was like, hell no, I'm not going to move nowhere else and start all
the only
over.
reason is I've met a few people that own barbershops, and they had to do that in the beginning.
Why?
Because they didn't open. No, they were like some of them were on contracts where they couldn't open in a certain radius.
That's crazy.
So it was just a question to see like what would be the best way to promote if you're starting from scratch, a barbershop that's completely out of the way from where you grew up.
Your clientele, and then build the relationships, the network. Like Bones said, he opened his shop. I'm sure everybody here opened a shop. They had their relationships in their city, and it wasn't that hard to find barbers because they've done the groundwork, they've done the grind before they open the shop, and that's what you have to do. If you want to have a shop in Miami, you got to move there first, get involved in the community, build the relationships. So when you launch your business, you're truly launching it. You're not starting it and going door to door trying to find barbers. So.
Do we have any questions? Any questions? All right, we got a question right here.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Reese. I'm trying to learn.
Talk closer to the mic.
I'm trying to learn how to cut hair, and right now I'm active duty military, so I feel like a lot of people around my area, you know, just cut people's hair because they know they need the cut. So I'm trying to figure out how do you guys find people to practice on so that I can perfect my craft.
I always say try to get your family for some haircuts, or even like go to the community centers where you have the homeless shelters and give up some free time and you can practice on them. They're not gonna deny a haircut. You know, you could practice always on them. That's one way you could do it. Family and the shelters.
Shit, I learned how to cut hair. I was kind of lucky. Like my dad was a barber, but I have an uncle that's handicapped, and I learned how to cut hair on him. So I would go out there, be in the garage for an hour trying to do a one skin fade, and I would run back in the house, and my pops would come out and show me how to fix it. But I started with my uncle and all my boys in the neighborhood. Look, everybody has that one friend that will let you do whatever the hell you want to their hair as long as that shit is free. If it's free, there's some niggas out there that don't care about quality. If it's free, they gonna take it. That's like if McDonald's say we giving away free McChickens, everybody know McDonald's food is trash, you still gonna go because it's free. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has a friend like that. Your job is to find your hamster. You gotta find your hamster that like, hey, I know he gonna let me do whatever I want. And just practice. Ask questions like what you're doing right now. And then the biggest help for new barbers is YouTube, bro. YouTube. If you're just now starting, YouTube needs to be your best friend. You watch this fool, Basio on there, Jeezy, Beam. Like, bro, there's so much free education on there. And they put up a post, hey, I'm doing free cuts. Somebody's gonna hit you up. That's a guarantee. One of your boys is gonna hit you up. Because you gotta understand, like, you already look like a barber. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. So if somebody walk up to you, they're not gonna think like, oh, this dude, he sucks at cutting hair. They're gonna automatically assume he know how to cut because he fly. You know what I'm saying? Use these different things to your advantage. Find your guinea pig because they're out there. They're definitely out there.
Find somebody in your area too. Reach out to somebody in your community, somebody who's doing it on a high level, someone that you look up to, and see if you can go and shadow them. I allow people in my shop, you know, any day that I'm working and shadow for free, learn, you know, be part of the shop. You want to get in there and get used to being in that environment.
We got Basio.
Yeah. So Wills was talking about apprenticeship, right? In the state of Florida, there's no apprenticeship, but we have apprentices at my shops, right? They come in, they shadow, they get lunch, they sweep, and they're there shadowing and learning, and those are the people we're hiring. We're not just hiring you because you graduated barber school, you got a license now. No, you built the relationship. You were at Orlando Lakes location for the last 6 months while you were in barber school, and you're already part of the family. It's easy for me to convince somebody, to convince our barbers, can we add another barber without them getting upset, because that dude's already family. He's been in there putting in the work, he's been shadowing, he's been learning, he's been sweeping, he's been getting bangs for the team. That's what you should be doing too, wherever your area you're in. So,
nice. All right, we have one more question here.
How important it is to stay humble, like from the beginning to the end, and when you keep growing?
Bro, staying humble.
How important is it to stay humble?
That ain't got a damn thing to do with being a barber. That's just you as a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I understand, you can't say you're humble. That's something that's placed on you by some other people. Because if a person's walking in like, hey, I'm humble, bro. That's the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm mad humble.
For me, it's like I understand that everything that I have in my life was a gift. Everything. And just like how a gift is given, it can be taken away. So every day I wake up, I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. That's what humbles me, is knowing that at any moment in time, all this stuff that people praise and that people want to be a part of, people want to be next to me about, it can be taken away just as easy as it was given to me.
I totally agree with that. We have another question here. How you doing? What's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. Where are you from, Michelle?
I live in West Palm, but I'm new to Florida.
All right. Where are you from originally?
Originally from Philly, but I came from California. I used to be an instructor there.
You said you're from Philly?
Originally, yes.
Look at that. Closer to New York. Everybody's coming down here. And all the New York barbers are living in Florida now. Making it up.
I actually lived in California for many years. I actually taught there as well. Now I'm here in Florida. I teach at JT's Cuts Academy in Fort Lauderdale. I heard you guys talk about apprenticeship, And you guys don't have that out here. But it's also one of my students who's here was saying something about how you guys were referring to how you didn't learn in school. And I noticed that here in Florida, a lot of the schools have that issue with not learning in the schools. What about you guys as barbers starting a school of your own? Have any of you thought about that and coming together as a collaboration so that the students are learning more? Because that's one of the things that I find out here as well for me, to make sure they know the basics, as well as holding the shears and holding a razor and doing long hair, short hair, so forth.
So the thing that's hard about that is, like, that was one of my goals at one point in time, was to own my own school. But the big the big schools, the luxury that they have is financial aid. And 9 times out of 10, a barber is not gonna want to pay for their schooling out of pocket because it's expensive. They have financial aid at your school, so everything's out of pocket at your school. But the thing that is so hard to do that, because we can only sell ourselves so much. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you gotta have that backing to do it. I would love to have a school. And another thing that you're saying is, like, you hear that in Florida a lot. I hear that everywhere I go. I've been all throughout America, and I've never been one place where the consensus was, the majority, everybody was saying that our barber schools out here are good. You may have a sprinkle of a couple too, or what you'll have a good barber instructor at a school, but you won't have a good school. So that's really what the problem is like, I would love to have a school and do it. You know, that would be amazing. But it's hard as hell, damn near impossible to get people to pay out of pocket to go to barber school. Because 9 times out of 10, the people who are going to these barber schools, they're going because they don't have another job. They don't have nothing else. So now you're making them choose between, do I go to work and go to school? So I'm going to work and I'm going to school and I'm paying for this out of pocket. When you throw financial aid in there, they ain't got that stress of having to pay for school at that moment.
I think being an owner, we're already teachers. You know, I feel like every time I get somebody in new, like Basio says, I do the same thing, more or less, bringing somebody in, having them apprentice, shadow, sweep the floor, get to know the people. But what I find is that even the students coming out of school need to be retaught completely over again. So I find that we're already teachers, we're already doing that. And I think that the financial aid is like the big part. I think schools are going to go away though soon. I think they're going away.
So I'll tell you why we haven't opened a school, and I plan on opening a school in the future. There's a few things. Number one, I don't want to be told what to teach my students, what's important. What's important to me is not as important as it is to schools and the current regulation, the system that is in place. To me, I want to teach my barbers how to own a barbershop. I want to teach my barbers finances. I want to teach my barbers how to create an enterprise within this industry, how to build their own brand. I want to teach like some real life stuff. Not just that, but again, I don't want the government telling me what I have to do. The other thing is, I've taught probably 100 hands-on classes in like the last year and a half. And I've gotten a lot of feedback from a lot of these people. I know in my heart it doesn't take me 1,200, 2,000 hours to teach these people the foundation to get into the barbershop when they're sacrificing food on the table. Because I had kids, I had responsibilities, I had to quit my job when I was in barber school. I'm not into that. So one of the things that I've looked at doing, and I'm actually doing the build out now, we should be opening soon, is a barbershop that's more like an academy. It is a barbershop, but you're going to get hands-on training every single week. You're going to pay more than in booth rent or commission than you would in a regular shop, but the value is going to be there in education. And I don't want you there for life. I want you there for a few months and get into the next barbershop and be successful. That's what I want. I want to teach you how to cut hair efficiently, how to manage your books, how to get great. This is going to be an apprenticeship area, and then you go on to the barbershop and do your thing. Right? So that's one of the things that I've looked into doing. It might take off, it might not. I haven't seen anybody else do it, but hopefully it does, and I can share it with the world, and more guys like this can do it too. So,
do we have any? Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Clap it up. Clap it up. Now, any other questions in the crowd? Any other questions? All right. My shoe just came off.
What's going on? He's about to rap. He's about to rap. He's like, no, hold on.
No.
Yeah.
The question I had, just a good way to deal with, just a good way to deal with stress, of working in the shop, new, you know, still learning, you know, in a way, I want to know better ways to discipline myself, you know, as far as, you know, staying at work, spending habits, things like that.
You gotta talk like we can't hear you. Can you do this? And then my name is Michael. I wanna. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, but hold the mic. If you're gonna talk, hold the mic like this.
Hello? Okay.
Like yeah. Hold it right here. No, stop putting it back down. He's like, oh, I have a question for you.
Okay, oh, I'm bringing the mic down. Okay. Okay, but I want to know, what are some ways that I can better discipline myself as far as spending habits, as far as
being confident and being on time, you know, being responsible, saying you're gonna have somebody in the chair at 9 o'clock, make sure it's 9 o'clock. You know, be ready before the client's there. Make sure your things, everything's disinfected. You know, make sure you're ready for the task. Don't tell somebody, yo, I got you at 11 o'clock, and then you're ready for them at 11:20. You know, you got to be responsible by time.
Week. You know what I'm saying? You say you want to help with as far as spending your money. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I looked on my app and saw how much money I made, right? And I had nothing left to show for it because I wasn't disciplined with my money. There's an app that I use right now called Acorn. I love it because every week it's a certain amount of no matter what. And it's like out of mind type of thing. That will help you establish some type of discipline. You know what I'm saying? Count your money every single day you go home for work.
You're supposed to be able to do some of the things that you're seeing. You know what I mean? So don't try to keep up with what you're seeing on social media. It's a great tool, and it's to where you want to go.
The biggest thing that I hate right now, bro, about young barbers is they see the haircuts that's on social media, and they're trying to learn these concept haircuts. Establish your foundation first. The haircuts that come in there every single day. Those are the haircuts that's gonna pay your bills. Those are the ones that's gonna make you money. The concept haircuts is cool. Cool. I hate seeing new barbers, bro. A design for you right now, that's irrelevant. Fuck designs. That's completely irrelevant. You don't need to be worried about doing no designs. No crazy fringe, horns up, haircuts, none of that shit. You need to be worried about how to do it. Skin fades, blowouts, shape ups, even cuts, and make sure your shear work is good. Because I'm going to keep it real. You're black. So when white dudes come into the shop with straight hair, they're gonna think that you don't know how to cut their hair. One of the best advice, bro, get your shear work good right now. It took me 10 years to get good with my shear work. I wish that I would have learned how to do that as soon as I got into the industry. I wish I could go back at 1.5 years and practice that first. That's where the money's at. The skin fades, the clippers, haircuts, that's bread. But if you want to make a lot of money, that's shear work. I'm telling you, concept haircuts do not matter, bro. They're cool for Instagram and to impress people, but you want longevity. Longevity is in your versatility and having a strong foundation of being a good barber, bro. A good barber.
I'm just saying, you're at a barbering event right now, and look how many crazy haircuts you see. It's cool. There we go. We got 3
Guy
in the
with the purple
building.
hair. Give it up for the guy with the purple hair. Give it up. At 6:30. So I'm leaving here.